Okay.
patio door open all night, so it's a little bit cooler than
That
my
might.
missus wasn't happy, so.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Yep. Alright, it is 8 o'clock. If we could stand for the pledge, I'll call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anyone for public comment? Oh, it's Scott back there. I don't see any, so I'll need a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes from October 7th. Motion by Stecker. Second by Haas. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Update from the foreman. Got the assistants today.
Yeah, good morning, Alex Langle, Assistant Foreman, under Scott, and Brian Blair, Assistant Foreman under Bill. So we have, both Bill and Scott are gone today. So, I don't know, we're just talking, a little bit of rain in the forecast will be welcome so we can get some roads maintained, obviously. But we're working a little bit on different projects, so I don't know if the board has anything, any concerns at all they want to bring up at this time, ask questions.
I guess I got approached by a landowner. There's a culvert on the north side of the bridge that got replaced up on the way to Titanca, right by Larry and Gail Pearson's house. That was set to be replaced in 22, and didn't know if that was still on the schedule. Maybe you guys would know, or if that was on the list of things to get done.
Where's it at again?
Right on the bridge that got replaced on the way up the Tyke, right by Larry and Gail Pearson. It's on the west side of the road.
P64.
Is it 64?
P64.
Yeah.
And the question was again, we replaced that bridge quite a few years ago.
Not the bridge, the culvert. The culvert was supposed to be worked on at the same time as the bridge. I guess the request was in 22, is when they've been waiting since 22, so that's, when you're walking
Culvert goes under the road or culvert?
under their drive, in
Under
the
their
ditch,
drive?
in that, under their lane there, cause it's, well, it's so steep there. I mean, if you're parking a wagon or something on it, it needs work in that area.
So drive to their house or a field entrance?
To their
or-
house, yeah. Right, right there on the north side of the bridge, there's a long lane that goes to the west.
Correct.
Yep, he said he had put a request in 22 and just wondered what the status was, so. When you're walking into Red Power, in and out of Red Power all fall, you get questions.
Okay, yeah,
Well, you look
to
into it
see
anyway, yeah, appreciate it.
what, yeah,
Otherwise, what have you guys been up to?
Try to get through some work orders for winter mowing.
Doing some ditch cleaning too, or
Yeah.
Yeah. catching up on some of that? I got asked also by Lick Ties in Prairie 9, be Joe and Dick. Is that on the list still to clean out some of that ditch stretch along the gravel road? It's the east side of Prairie 9.
well, I don't know, Alex, do you know right off the top of your head?
Okay.
I'm not aware of it.
That's
I know there's
something I don't
some-
know.
I know there's quite a bit down by West Bend, but.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where you hang out a little more than Wesley.
Probably throw a dart at the board and start cleaning the ditch, so.
Anyway, anything else from the board?
Brian, have you been by the Highway 9 junkyard anytime recently?
No, last week they took the trailer away with all the junk on it, but I don't know, it's the railroad right away part that looks really rough right now.
Okay. The last time I was by it, it looked rough.
Yeah. I'm afraid winter comes and we get any snow, it's gonna be a real mess.
Is that something we can get addressed before winter? Again?
The Department of Natural Resources has given him some orders to clean up stuff even in his own, on his own property.
Okay.
Yes, we will get that cleaned up. How much will be his cleaning or how much will be ours? And we do have some plans to install security cameras there with law enforcement. So
That'd be
hopefully
good,
that
yeah.
will solve some problems.
Any idea on when those cameras would be installed, or not?
I wanna get everything all cleaned up, but yes, we have a plan.
Okay. I just know that's been a problem for a while.
Anything else for the assistant foreman? Okay, well, thanks guys,
Thanks.
have a good day. Dan, we're up to you, monthly update,
Oh, my
Veterans
goodness.
Affairs.
Alrighty. Well, some of my metrics here for my report here for the month are kind of tied in with August and September together because I was off for a while. That being said, for that time period, it looks like we had 13 telephone calls, 45 messages. I had 16 walk-ins, 20 scheduled appointments. We also had 1 appointment out of the office and 1 transport. And then working some of the VA forms for claims, we had 69. Currently tracking 1,013 active records out of my office, out of a total of 1,270. I've currently got 26 claims in the VA system awaiting a decision, 2 that are ready for a decision, 10 of them that I'm currently working on and developing, and then 2 supplemental claims. Probably not a lot of movement with the government shutdown. Been fielding a lot of telephone calls. And my understanding is with the government shutdown, the healthcare side of the system is still working. But some of the veterans are like, well, hey, I had this appointment scheduled for me in July, and you know, the appointment is for today, and I was just calling to confirm that, should I go or not? And so the guidance I've been giving the veterans is if you had this scheduled before the shutdown, and they sent you a notice or you're otherwise, you know that you need to go, I would attend the appointment. I mean, I don't know if they're holding back on scheduling anything over this current time frame because of a possible reduction of available personnel, but I have been operating status quo. The benefits lane, which is the primary lane that I operate in, there's nobody in the federal building that is actively working that stuff, but I am just continuing to develop those claims and benefits for the and submitting them status quo. So when they come back to work, they're gonna have a lot of stuff kind of sitting there waiting to process, and I don't anticipate that it'll take, you know, it'll jump forward light speed, because things were kind of slow to begin with, so this just kind of compounded that, but, also, on some, state programs, we have, one Iowa Veteran Trust Fund application approved to date. I am working another one for a veteran on some roofing issues that he's having for his house. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. We still have one veteran that is in Marshalltown at the Iowa Veterans Home. And we have had approved a structured alterations grant for one veteran to get their bathroom remodeled, so we're good on that. I am currently scheduled for our State Fall School next week, so I'll be heading down either late Monday evening or Tuesday morning for that training for 3 days next week. Yesterday, the commissioners were in Stony Creek down in Johnston for the commission training, and so I'm kind of waiting to hear how that went for them. It was just a 1 day. I did meet with one commissioner last night at the Legion meeting that I attended, and basically they're still in the process of compiling notes, and so the only question I really asked is I said, hey look, was this worth your time and effort to attend the training? And they said yes. I said, was it more tailored toward your level of responsibilities? And they said pretty much yeah. There's a lot of discussion, I guess, on the required training for open meetings and closed meetings and those kinds of things, so they hit that pretty hard, which is good. But I hope to follow up with them, and I will compile their notes, and so at my next monthly update, I'll just kind of give you a snapshot of what they shared with me from that training. The mobile medical unit was here last Monday. I failed to get how many veterans they may have seen, so I gotta follow up on that. We were working for confirmation on dates for 2026. Also, the person that kind of heads up that activity, she's taken a different position, so there'll be a new person I've gotta figure out who to work with, so they're in transition as well. The reports there that you see, again, kind of a compilation, but what I was able to put together for August, for the monthly awards was a little over $2,500, with retroactive benefits being a little over $22,000. September, a little better, about $7,000 for the month in retroactive benefits, just about $30,000. Monthly awards year to date, again, we're looking at $66,173, and retro monies being around $209,000. The rest of the metrics there are for you to look at, but the key thing that I kind of wanted to share with you was that we finally got the GDX report, which is a federal report of geographical disbursement of expenses. So this is something that the VA tracks in terms of benefits that are dispersed by state, drilled down to county based on veteran population. So I think the last report for 2023, I think our veteran population went down by 21. This year for 2024, it went down by 14. However, our total monthly or our total annual expenditures, the benefits that were earned, we actually hit double digits, and that was my goal. Last time we were able to bring in $9.5 million, and in 2024 it was 10.6. So we had an increase of $1.86 million in benefits to veterans in Kossuth County. So I feel really good about that. I still have a lot of work to do. We continue to see anywhere between 1 to 2 people on average about a month, every month and a half coming into the county. My most recent veteran came from Wisconsin, bought a home up in Titanca, so I've got to touch base with him and see if you know, he's getting taken care of if there's anything that he needs. But, I just wanted to make sure that you had the snapshot for the GDX report. They did add some additional categories that they're keeping track, which I thought was great. They started counting dependent indemnity compensation, which is a monthly annuity allowed to a surviving spouse if the military service member who was disabled died from their disabilities. So that's a benefit that I apply for the surviving spouse and minor dependent children. So they're keeping track of that. Memorial benefits, that's gonna be things along the line of burial reimbursement, transportation of remains, and any and all remaining accrued benefits that are owed to the family on behalf of the veterans. So they've added those two categories. I know when I shared this with my commissioner, she said, Carol Bernard said, well, do you have any idea why your vocational rehabilitation might have dropped? And it would be mere speculation on my part, but I would assume part of that is due to the fact that maybe within our county, not a lot of vets are taking advantage of that. Those who have and have graduated the program, obviously that's a metric that kind of washes out. And then you have others who start the program, which is what I've seen, because there's been like 3 or 4 that have started the program and then they don't finish. So I'd have to dig in on that a little bit more. The other thing, you know, I was sharing with the board here previously that trying to focus on getting more veterans into VA healthcare enrollment. And I think part of that effort shows too, because we increased medical care by $953,000 for our county in getting those veterans actively seeking, you know, some type of health care within the VA system to treat them. So we'll just keep plugging away on that. And then the next update will be reflective of October, but subject to your questions, that's really all I've got. Comments or concerns or otherwise?
Sounds
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for your update.
Hey, thanks, everybody.
Yeah,
I'll let you know how school goes. It'll be interesting. This will be the first run for IDVA where they're running the entire show, so we'll see how that goes. But stay tuned for other
sounds good.
details. All right.
Have a good day, Dan.
Yep.
Okay, discussion, decision, review, and approve resolutions for Kossuth County payroll changes.
Okay, well, we finally made it here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're ready to go. We have 7 resolutions. You should see them in your folders. I think we should go through and approve them one at a time, if you're okay with that.
That's fine, yeah.
And then I
Just go
can,
down the list.
yeah, and then I can kinda explain them as we go. The first one, 10-14-25-01. This is for the non-prepaid employees that were paid on the 20th of the month. So they will be starting their every 2 weeks, starting June 15, 2026 and ending June 28, 2026 with a pay date of July 3rd, 2026. And that's pretty much basically it for them. Some of them are salary, some of them are hourly, so the resolution does say it's different based on salary or hourly, but so that is the first one.
Okay. Need a motion for resolution number 10-14-2501.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Stecker, second by Garmin. Discussion on first resolution here. Hearing none, all in favor of approving, a roll call vote please, I
Okay,
guess we'll have to do. Yep.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Resolution passes.
Okay, the second resolution, 10-14-25-02, is elected officials that were paid the 20th of the month. Elected officials cannot make more than what's approved in the budget.
Okay. We have a motion for 10-14-25-02. Motion by Haas, second by Stecker. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Resolution passes.
Okay, 10-14-25-03 is EMS, and their first 2-week pay period will be July 3rd, pay period June 14th to June 27th. And Ann did say that it is okay that they have a different pay period, so that I think, Donna, it will be listed in the handbook that that is different,
Their time.
the time that they start, yeah.
Okay. Do we have a motion for resolution 10-14-25-03?
You go through those dates again,
Sure.
I might have been confused there.
Sure, no, so they'll be paid July 3rd
Okay,
for June 14th through
Alright.
June 27th.
thanks.
Yep,
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Stecker,
I'll second.
Oh, go ahead.
second by Wactor. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas,
Yes,
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Motion carried.
Okay, 10-14-25-04 is for engineer, secondary roads, transfer station, and IT. These are not prepaid, that were paid the first of the month. Their pay period, their first 2-week will be July 3rd for June 15th through June 28th.
Okay. Need a resolution for 10-14-25-04. Motion by Garmin,
Second.
second by Stecker. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Haas,
yes,
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Resolution passes.
10-14-25-05 is for, jail. Their first 2-week will be July 3rd, 2026, for a pay period starting June 15th and ending June 28th. They are not currently prepaid.
Need a resolution for, oh, okay, we got a motion by Haas,
Second.
second by Stecker for resolution 10-14-25-06. Any discussion?
05.
05, excuse me. Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas,
yes,
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Resolution passes.
10-14-25-06. This is for prepaid employees paid the 20th of the month, excluding elected officials. Their first 2 weeks will be June 19th, starting June 1st and ending June 14th, and every 2 weeks thereafter.
Motion by Garmin,
I'll second.
second by Wactor for resolution 10-14-25-06. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas,
yes,
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes.
10-14-25-07 supervisors. Because supervisors were paid the first of the month, if you switch to every 2 weeks in June, it will put you over what's budgeted for elected officials. So supervisors won't receive their first pay till July 17th for the pay period of June 29th through July 12th,
Okay.
in order to make sure that you're not
Over.
making more than,
Well, I was gonna ask a question about that, because
Sure.
if our pay period, if for July 3rd, if we're paid May 26th or June 28th, how does that work when we usually paid the first through the 30th or first through? How does that work? That was the only one that
Just whatever
didn't
the month
quite
is, yeah.
make sense to me.
and maybe I listed that wrong in here, let me see, quick. So,
Cause I don't think our pay period is like that for the supervisors.
I might have put the wrong dates on it.
I think ours
Could
is
have
just
happened.
first of the month regardless of how many days are in the
For the
month.
prior month,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So I don't think, so I wonder, maybe,
Okay, so let me look at this, so. Cause you guys are not prepaid. So your pay period, we can't pay you on the 19th.
Well, I just wonder if on July third, we're actually just getting paid for June.
July,
Well, kinda like when I started on the
And then
board,
we start our 2 weeks, July first through whatever, but, and then it'll just fall into sync, but actually, I think we're paid for all of June on July third.
right, and it does say that on July 3rd, the supervisors listed will be paid for May 26th through June 28th. Then pay periods shall be every 2 weeks, with the first starting June 29th and July 12th,
But our
with the
pay-
pay date of
Okay,
the
sorry.
17th, sorry.
But our pay period's never been the 26th through the, it's always been, you're just paid for that month. So I think it's just
Oh.
as easy as changing it on June first.
I see what you're saying,
Yeah, I
so,
mean, it'll still do the same thing, but I do think that wording is incorrect for us.
yeah, so you'll be paid for
for June,
June 1st
Through June 30th.
through
Right.
June 30th.
right?
June 1st through June 30th.
Yeah, cause we're
And
always
then
paid
pay
for
periods
the
will
month.
be every 2 weeks,
Mhm.
starting July 1st. Right,
Yep,
to the 12th. And then pay date of July 17th.
mhm.
Okay, so on July 3rd, supervisors will be paid for June 1st through June 30th. Then every 2 weeks, starting July 1st and ending on July 12th with the pay date of July 17th. Okay,
Yeah, that would be.
sorry about that. 7 resolutions, it's hard to keep them all straight. So I will make that correction. Do you wanna make a motion with?
Motion with the corrections. Motion by Haas, second by Garmin, to approve resolution 10-14-2507 with the corrections. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes,
and I'll fix that at our first break and get that to you guys.
sounds good, thanks Tammy. And that's it for that, isn't it?
Yep, that's
Okay.
it.
Alright, discussion, decision, oh, need to flip the page. Yeah, Doug is ready, so we are up to discussion decision to set date for public hearing for road vacation of a portion of road number 43, 190th Avenue between sections 25 in Portland Township and 30 of Buffalo Township. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Doug, yeah.
Go ahead. Project a location map in your folder. I also put some recordings, videos of driving this road from the north and driving it from the south. I'll go ahead and let the board review that themselves. Just to give you just a little bit of the history on this. Donna, would you please just one of the lights, or would you like both of them off?
That's good, that's good.
Okay. Here's Titanca, Bird is right about right here, and there is the area we're looking at, right on the township line. Originally in 90-something, the Kossuth County Board of Supervisors, they established a road that actually ran 6 miles on the township line between Portland and Buffalo. As of today, this is the only mile that remains that has not been vacated. So all those roads have been vacated. There was a Pony Trust Bridge here that was closed, and it was actually removed in 2017. And I'll just zoom in a little bit, and I've included some information, a location map with the board, in the board's folder. But, I might show it with cadastral later. This parcel right here, what would be the west half of the southwest quarter, section 30, was owned by a party, and the west half of the northwest quarter was owned by a property. So the property line was right here. And it created a situation where there's a triangle of land right here, there's a triangle of land right there, that in order for people to get to their property, they needed to use a road, which was this 190 Avenue. The owners have surveyed, they use the drainage ditch as their property boundary, so we no longer have a situation where this road is needed to access this piece, or this road is needed to access this piece. And if you look at the ownership, you can see that that now is owned by party A, and the south part is owned by another party. Actually, Jerry Redding called me, said that they had taken care of all this, and it does, according to courthouse records, it is taken care of. The road is no longer needed for that, and the landowners are interested in vacating that road. There's a high voltage transmission line that's on the west side of this road. That easement, there's some of it on the private, some of it on the public. That easement stays with that utility company. Today, what I'd like to do is just have the board schedule a public hearing for the road vacation, so that we can notify all the landowners here, notify the utility company, and make landowners aware of that, so that we can have the public hearing. If there are objections, we'll have to deal with them. If there are none, then we can go ahead and vacate that road. So I have prepared a resolution for the board, that just setting a date, time, and place for the public hearing.
Thank you.
Sure.
And do you have a suggested date?
Well, it has to be, notification has to be not greater than 20, not less than 4.
Okay. So, what is today, the 14th? Yeah.
14th, the soonest it would be advertised is the 22nd, and the 23rd in the newspapers. So it has to be
28th?
greater than 4, less than 20, so maybe, is the board meeting that November,
4th?
week of the November 3rd, is that the election?
Yeah, we are
Well, we
meeting.
are having a meeting that day,
Okay, on the 3rd or the 4th?
4th.
Okay,
We do have already an 8:15 public hearing.
I couldn't imagine this one would take very long though.
we could do it I guess the biggest thing here would be, there are some areas there where, in the past, the road department has filled in ditches, knocked down the grade, and there are, I'd say somewhere between a quarter and a half a mile that something like that would have to happen, and then we'd have to stake out that section line, that township line, so that people on the east and people on the west will know where their boundary is located. So,
There's no debate there, it goes right down the line.
ownership is on that township line. So if you would like to do it on the fourth, that's certainly possible, and the 11th as well. Is the 11th a vacation?
No, we're not meeting, we're meeting the 12th.
Okay, 4th or the 12th, it does not matter to me.
It doesn't matter, I just wanted you to know we had one at 8:15, so it'd have to be after that. We don't have anything else scheduled for that day, so I don't see why you couldn't have it that day.
I mean, do you think this probably won't take more than 5-10 minutes?
I do not foresee,
I wouldn't
a
either,
lengthy.
yeah, especially the condition of the road, yeah,
Right,
yeah. Do it at 8:05 on that day? Would be all right. On the 4th,
on the 4th,
that'll work. So we'll need a motion to set, public hearing for 8:05 on November 4th. Motion by Garmin, second by Stecker. Any discussion on the date and time? If not, all in favor say aye.
You gotta do roll call.
Oh, roll call vote please.
Haas,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes, I didn't know we had to do roll call vote for setting the date.
That's
Oh, with
For
the
a
resolution,
resolution.
okay.
what would that resolution number be, please?
That'd be 10-14-25-08.
You guys have had your practice on
A lot of
this.
resolutions today.
Is that a record?
It might
I don't
be.
know.
It might be, could,
One of those first
Tammy
meeting of
and-
the year is always a lot too.
Yeah,
but,
Might be a record outside of that.
Yeah.
if there's an
Uh-huh.
organization
very good,
Thank
and I'll
you.
get that, I'll get that
Pleasure.
email to you,
Thank
Tammy.
you.
If I don't, please send
I'll
me
remind
one of
you.
your reminders.
I will, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we are, whoa,
Oh, thanks, Donna.
thank you, Donna. We are up to discussion decision to approve gravel pit agricultural leases.
We did not receive any leases
Okay.
over the last week, so there's no leases to approve.
Okay.
We'll put it on the agenda again next week.
Very
I
good,
would assume that we'll start getting some of those in.
sure. Okay, then we have, discussion on health insurance workshop.
Last week we spoke briefly about, the high deductible health plan. I just included in the, board's folder, pamphlet of information that was given to the board, previously, as well as a document that was prepared and reviewed with employees at open enrollment, which was in, I believe it was the end of May, or it was the beginning of June. So, you know, just to review a little bit, there's a few things that need to happen in order for a high deductible health plan to succeed, a consumer-driven health plan. The first thing is awareness, and we gotta make our employees that are receiving health benefits aware of the decisions that they make and what those costs are. And there are on sheet 6, I believe it is, phase 1 awareness, talks about My Wellmark. My Wellmark has some documents there that are listed. They talk about benefits, claims, deductibles, prescription drugs, and Care Finder. I do not know exactly how many Kossuth County employees have a My Wellmark account. I've asked the question, I have not received an answer on that. Donna, do you?
I promote it, you know, upon hire, I promote it when people have questions, because it gives you everything you need to know as far as your deductible, if something's covered, how to find a provider, but I don't know how many people access it.
So that's something that needs to be promoted. The second phase is education, as far as what is a high deductible health plan. Again, there's documents that can be handed out to employees so that they can educate themselves, gain knowledge in that. Just the one is HSA, what is an HSA? Third is evaluation. Employees then are gonna have to be able to look at what their choices are and provide a decision. They're gonna have to make a decision based on what they feel is the right plan for themselves. Then you have to have some sort of enrollment for them, for those people that would like the high deductible. And then we need to activate that. So there's work to do. When Michelle met with the board and talked about high deductible health plan, there was the question as who is going to be doing the education, evaluation, activation, who is going to help Kossuth County employees make aware of some of the decisions that they're making, and how we can control some of our health costs. We have had Michelle, she talked as a group. We can certainly, she will visit with individuals to see what their own health care, what decision makes the best sense for them. But we need to come up with alternatives for employees to look at. So that's kind of a review of what needs to be done and where we're at. I don't know, Donna, do you have anything to add?
I think that flyer, that printout shows a lot. I think, Amber, you had asked specific questions. I think we really need to look at what, our traditional plan looks like, and then if we move to high deductible plan and what the difference. Right now, we're just kind of spinning, and I don't know that even Michelle could explain that to our employees, because we haven't really worked that out, how the fund will be affected, and Doug, I know can look at that. But I'd say that might be a first step on what direction the intent is. That's the questions I get from employees. I mean, there's no clarity as to what the options will be.
No, and I don't think there probably would have been until we do this, but, I think that was what the intent was, but I think we need to decide, are we gonna offer it? If we offer it, is there an incentive? And explain the difference of the health savings plan and the, flex, right? Because there will be a difference depending on which plan you opt for. So I think employees need to understand those things. I think we, as a board, need to make that final decision. Okay, are we going to offer that? And if we are, what is the incentive? That's probably our first step, do you think? I mean, am I incorrect? What do you guys consider as the first step?
So I guess I think it's a little bit difficult to completely decide what our incentives will be, especially when we don't have prices that we're working off of, but I think a fair option would be working off the prices that they would have quoted for last year, and I don't know if she can run any different examples or not at this point, but.
I have those numbers.
Okay, yeah, I know we've gotten a number of examples in the past, but I think if we make a, maybe not concrete decision, but a strong target of what we're going towards, I mean, even stronger than the example that was presented to employees of, there's a 95% chance we're gonna go with a plan like this, it may be tweaked a little bit at the final decision based on prices, but I think if we use the information we had last year, or any new information that we can get to come up with a plan, then yeah, I think everything could flow from there. But I do think we need to make a decision, at least a strong target of where we're actually gonna end up.
Doug and Donna, or Doug or Donna, or both put together this next thing where, example. And again, I agree, you don't know what the premiums are gonna be, you don't know. We don't know what you're gonna do if healthcare costs go up 15% again. But in this example, in the next file that you have in there, it's showing that, and nobody's discussed this, I don't think, it's just an example.
I think that's what we've decided as a board, for an example to present
Okay,
at open
alright,
enrollment, right?
This was presented at
Yeah,
Open
the
enrollment.
open
so this,
enrollment,
yeah, this was our example.
and
we
it
gave.
was explained to employees using these figures.
Yep,
And then, I can't remember if we handed this out.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
You have it?
Employees
Thank
have
you,
it,
Colin.
employees have it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I was, not to interrupt you there, Howard, but yeah, it was a board example we presented.
Okay. Well, anyway, where I was going, first off, nobody knows what those numbers are exactly gonna be, I don't think. It was just put together as an example. But that shows $100 for employee and $350 for family under the traditional plan per month, and no cost. But the premiums will have to justify that. You know, the premium savings for the high deductible health plan would have to justify that. If you're not gonna save enough money to do it, it's gotta be good for everybody. It's gotta be, I hate win-win, but it's gotta be a win-win for the employee and a win for the employer too, to make sense, so.
Yeah, I think the first year is going to be the most difficult year to do it. And you're gonna find out pretty quick if employees think that it's a good deal or not, by how many people actually choose it.
It's important to say right there that it takes a certain number to choose it to even activate it.
10.
It
So
takes,
maintain it,
we need, Kossuth County for it to continue, we'll have to have 10 people on the high deductible plan. However, that doesn't have to be the first enrollment. Michelle, I was visiting with her yesterday, but if you have 2 or 3, the first year, you're, you know, and you hope what happens is through word of mouth, somebody says, okay, I was able to save myself some money.
Well, in this example, if somebody had no health care costs, in this example, they'd save $1,200 in premiums, and then they'd have, if the health savings account, you know, they might be able to put away some money there. And
Correct.
it worked out well for me.
And then, that's part of the awareness, is get some people that, that it's successful for. And I think that the one or two individuals that take the high deductible plan is not going to indicate savings right away. We need to get probably 50% of the people really using this in order to see significant savings.
I don't have any of the numbers in front of me, but I think off the top of my head, the difference in premium between the traditional plan and the high deductible health plan was around $400,000. Now granted, that's for everybody switching, but yeah, it was significant difference in premium. So, you're right, Howard, we would just need to evaluate the premium cost difference between the plans and the benefit differences of how much would be paid out of pocket and make a reasonable determination between the two to incentivize.
I don't know if it needs to be talked about today, but I don't have a good understanding of what the self-insurance does, even with the traditional plan, let alone what it would do with the high deductible plan. I don't understand. When we pay, so the first such amount, is that correct, or?
Yes, we have a stop loss at 75,000. So if there's somebody that accumulates over $75,000 of healthcare, we pick up the first 75,000.
Over and above it, over and above their deductible?
Their deductible, correct.
And out of pocket max and all that stuff, yep. And then, yeah, Walmart would be above the 75 point.
Like you say, the first year's gonna be the toughest, you know, you make the decision to offer it and you're kind of going into it a little bit blind. Because like, we don't know what our year looked like at that time, that we make this decision, but at least it gives employees that direction of what we're doing, I guess, and then, it's gonna be kind of a leap of faith, what we decide, and then, you know, if, it's kinda hard to say you start off with, okay, we're gonna offer the high deductible plan and you won't have to pay premium. You know, well, then you get to when we have the actual numbers and it's looking like that maybe isn't a good idea, well, how do you change that? You know, I think the first year's gonna be the toughest to make those decisions, but then we just have to roll with it after that and see how it ended up. We gotta go through a whole year before we really know if it helped us much. And then some. The first year it might not, if we only get a handful of people who do it. Well then, by word of mouth, maybe the next time we get 15 people, well, that's when you're gonna start to notice the changes, so. You know, we're just kinda taking a stab in the dark, I think.
So a lot does depend on enrollment, but I think one of the big statistics that jumped out to me is, and this is off the top of my head, but I think over 75% of our employees spent less than $1,500 in healthcare costs. So for the majority of our employees, obviously something could happen that's unexpected, but for the majority of our employees that aren't maxing out their deductibles, the high deductible plan could have a lot of opportunity there.
But the employee still was paying into it, correct?
Based on this example, no.
Okay. Well, if you
What-
pick, if you pick.
The
a plan.
traditional,
Yeah, right,
depends on which plan you're talking about, Connie.
yeah.
Yeah, it does depend on which plan you're talking about, but, that's where the choice between the traditional plan and the high deductible plan would be an individual decision, so you could choose if you wanna pay that premium contribution and have the same plan or as close to the same plan as it has been. But, the other option would be a lower cost with the potential of hitting your deductible. But,
Would there be any plan that's just employee plus spouse? Is it just family?
so regardless of what we do, we can offer two-way rates or four-way rates.
Okay.
So four-way rates would have single, employee plus spouse, employee plus child, and family. And that, it just makes it a different bucket for each of those, but we did talk about that.
Okay.
We didn't go that route this year, but it is an option.
I thought from what she said, it wouldn't be that much of a savings.
So
Well,
it
the
won't,
total cost is still gonna be the same.
yeah, it
It
won't
depends
affect-
on whether the board chooses to divide up some of the costs that
Then employees.
go towards the plan that employees would be paying, but the ultimate, when you just look at the self-insurance fund, that's not gonna change anything.
No.
We have 320 some people that are insured. And whether that's a spouse, employee and a spouse, employees and family, whether that's single, you can divide that up a lot of ways, but when the fund pays, they're gonna pay for all of that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it won't be any difference for Kossuth County's plan as a whole. The difference would be on the employee side, so the people with employee plus spouse or employee plus kids would pay less than a full family plan, but, so then your costs spread apart because of that, so it's just a different way of breaking it out, but that is an option.
And I think we were told at that workshop that, or maybe it was after, that this was just one example that the board was looking at. You're gonna look at a lot of other examples, but what I'm hearing today is, this is it?
No,
Okay.
no, we have not, no.
Okay.
But we had to give an example.
Yep.
So the employees had something to look at, and it, that's why we said, really put on there that example. No, that has not been decided.
Okay.
So I think the hard thing is, I mean, we could go back with the things that were quoted and we could make a decision or a target of what we're gonna hit. I don't know if it would be significantly different than this or not, but, until we get new prices, we won't have prices for the next plan cycle. So that's where the timeline of our final decision is probably gonna be similar to what it usually is, in that February, maybe March timeline. Obviously, if we can start on it sooner than later, and if we can have a decent target, that may streamline our conversation a little bit, but,
Well, I think we need to decide on something, first, that we are, we need to make the decision that we are going to offer the high deductible plan. And I don't know, does that have to be actually a decision, or is it just, I think it helps if it is, because it gives us something more concrete to give to the employees, which I thought was kind of the driving force behind this, was so that employees had some time to think and prepare. So, and I know Kyle, all along you've kind of said, well, we can't really do that, it has to be around that budget time, but, I think the big thing that we all got from employees being in the room was, please let us know. So, I don't know if there's any harm in us letting them know, in the form of a motion that we are gonna, again, we can't do that today, but, but that we are going to offer a high deductible plan, and it's a choice, it's still a choice, the employees still have a choice. Just explain it.
This example here, from our last discussions on that, this was a means of getting us to break even a zero, for the traditional plan. I mean, that was why we chose that number, and then set that aside, a high deductible plan. Am I remembering this correct, cause we were getting to zero on that the county was not going backwards at all.
I think the cost
For- to
between
the-
the two, yes.
Right, the
was
cost between the two was
matching.
zero, I mean, that, they were to line up evenly.
Pretty close.
So that was trying to provide a fair comparison of the two, to where they weren't imbalanced. Am I correct in stating that, or?
I believe so, and I guess, yeah, I don't have any problem with having a motion, so we have a direction from the board, but I guess from all of our conversations, if we weren't going to go forward with an example, or going to go forward with adding a high deductible health care plan option, it would maybe have been a waste of time to present an example, so I thought we were kind of on that same page already, but I don't know that we ever made a motion to that extent, but I thought we had discussed that about,
Well, but we also talked about this fall, sitting down and trying to make some of these decisions so that we're not so behind the 8 ball come January, February, March. So we have a direction,
I guess, is there anything more for today's discussion, or do we need it on the agenda to make a decision in motion, or? Yes, I mean, we can probably sit down and compare numbers for a while, but I don't know if that's a today project or not.
could we, Doug, could we maybe if we, and it doesn't have to be next week, but whenever, here soon, see where we're at right now? Like, you can you have your spreadsheet up here for us to look at?
Sure.
And we kinda see, where we're sitting at this time. And we'll have a comparison to where we were sitting last year at this time. So, that would help. Are we a little better? Are we a little worse? Are we, have a comparison to at least know where we're at right now
Yeah, and
to
like,
move forward with the process.
the last time we had well-marked plans and we never hit our stop loss, that should be a good sign,
Right.
I would think.
So it could be that, we're in a little bit better position, and that we could possibly make some of these decisions. I don't think any decision we make is going to jeopardize our fund, as long as our fund looks at least similar or not better than it did last year at this time. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Granted, I know a lot can happen, but at some point, if we want,
Just
this is the
just
year.
rub your crystal ball.
Yeah, this is the one time where we're looking at it a little earlier because it's a change for employees. And I thought, that was the driving force. After that, once we're settled in, the employees are gonna know these are the plans that are offered, and then, it can be more budget, but the purpose of this was so that our employees knew what we were doing and we weren't dropping it on their lap at the last minute.
Well, I think too, meanwhile, like Doug was saying, education, I hear employees talk about, we have this, wellness screening, but then people don't go to that, but then you hear them talk about when we get my blood drawn, I'm like, well, why don't you do that, the wellness screening, that saves us money, right? That's why you provide this, or the county provides this. I just don't think some employees are educated, and they talk about going to the emergency room, well, why did you do that? Couldn't you maybe call doctor on demand first, and I know you send out things, but I think we just need to be better at educating employees so we can save some health cost dollars, and I know you can tell people 45 times to do something and they won't do it, but put it out there more, cause I think there are a lot of new employees and they're not understanding some of these things. And why the county provides, you know, this wellness and that, yeah, it saves, that's why we do it. And it's a good time to get your screening done at that time. And I've heard other employees say that, we just don't know what's going on, so. Wanna throw that out there.
Well, we can, I mean, I think we got a little bit of direction and maybe a next step for conversation, so.
Yeah, and I think that we need to do that. I think
Yeah. Any other points that need to be talked about today? Otherwise, we'll
I don't think so.
keep moving.
I'm okay.
Okay, thanks, Doug.
Sure.
And we are up to construction in the right of way then.
There is, no request for construction of the road right away. We do have,
Is there a tile cross?
Rodney Jensen is talking with Derek Blair about a crossing. It is in your folder, I'm navigating to that right now.
Say it
Where
is,
he
but
is
it's not.
going to be crossing, and I don't know what road it is right off the top of my head.
350. I got it up on mine.
Okay, so, there is a drainage ditch that, runs. Great. Kind of some sort of pop up there. Get caught up. All right. They'd like to just cross this 350th Street. They'd actually be going across McClish's property. There's a dividing line. I think Rodney actually owns this farm to the south here. Pretty straightforward. This is a gravel road. We're working with them to get some details. My question to the board is, do you have any concerns if we would give a verbal to Rodney if we get all the paperwork and give them a verbal to get that taken care of, to go through the road and then come back to the board of supervisors with a.
You're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
Okay, yeah, we'll make sure we have everything. Okay. So that's the only, construction of the road right away.
Okay, anything for discussion?
We are working on that, we started work this morning on that entrance to the Crail Wildlife Area in section 2 of Riverdale Township. And per the board's wishes, we'll keep track of that work, and I'll give you some information of some estimated costs that it did cost the road department. We're still talking with Matthew about getting pavement striping corrected. The construction of the bridge north of Sexton, I think they're tomorrow. Hopefully it will not be, the weather will allow them, but they'll get the guardrail on and then we'll have that all taken care of. Traffic marking is pretty close to being complete. And we are getting ready for getting an advertisement for the Lakota shop position. That's about all that I have.
So once you get the guardrails on, it'll be ready to be open, or the concrete?
It'll be open, yeah. We actually, we have road close barricades, but people are crossing that bridge kind of at their own risk. Hopefully they aren't traveling at high rates of speed and anything that would give them the possibility of losing control of a vehicle and crashing into an abutment. As long as people are reasonable, it'll be fine. Is that a good way to put it?
I did have a landowner wonder about with the detour there from Highway 18 using McGregor, and I've driven that road too, and it's with as much added traffic and truck traffic, and there's getting some rough spots on that road. Is there any, I didn't know if there was even any agreement with the DOT, do they assist in helping pay for any damages to the road?
We approved the agreement.
Okay, well, I couldn't remember, I guess, is there anything worded in there for that? I didn't know.
We will be compensated.
We will
for
be,
that
okay.
use.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, I thought so, but I couldn't, I didn't know what to tell him, I couldn't
no,
remember,
that
yeah,
is, we will be compensated.
okay,
In fact, we were just compensated for, the detour for the railroad crossing
oh,
west of Whittemore. It did not amount to, it was
sure,
3 or 4 days, not nearly the traffic, but it's based on the traffic counts on Highway 18 and fuel taxes that are being paid. So they try to estimate to make sure that those, that revenue is coming back to Kossuth County for the use of those roads.
Do we have any plan for maintenance on that road though?
Oh, yeah.
It's in the 5-year plan.
We'll be looking at it, it needs to be slurry level. It is in our 5-year program, I think it's in the 5th year.
When is that detour done?
Probably at the end of this week.
when they are,
I think,
Really?
yeah, I think the end of this
They're
week it'll
close.
be, they'll have this stuff at Sexton done.
Hallelujah.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
Well,
now,
I was
the
talking-
problem is there's a pretty good chance of shower tonight. So depending on what that does, that's weather and making sure there's no breakdowns, so.
I know when I talked to Kevin Rauch over with the DOT the one day, he thought they'd be done mid to late October. They'll have the detour gone, but like you say, depending on weather, we'll see.
Yeah.
I talked with Krista, the DOT representative for our area, and she made it sound like they may actually be going a little bit longer because there were some issues or something, so.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the whole project or, but
Is that a
I just talked with
meeting?
I just talked to a person yesterday with the Department of
Okay.
Transportation. He emailed me. So,
Another question, I got lots of questions today.
Sure.
The work being done in Western Hills, I had a few homeowners contact me about trees.
we cut down some trees in the road right away, I know
Is there some work
I
on
talked
a
with-
culvert there, or
pardon me?
was there some work on a culvert up there, or?
We need to work on the
Okay.
culvert. It's in a deteriorating, condition. We have decided to put a culvert liner on that. We do need to extend it out and we need to fill in, that slope. There were trees on the slope, there were trees on the outlet, trees on the inlet. I've talked with a couple of different, landowners who are concerned. And in fact, I'm going to be visiting with one at the end of this week, so. If there's times where if you're gonna have work completed, you can't do it. Trees will not allow you to get that work done. It's kinda like trees on a drainage ditch. If you wanna go clean a drainage ditch, the worst thing you can have is a bunch of trees on a drainage ditch. Cause the first thing you gotta do is remove them to get to your work.
As long as you can get it seeded before it floods again, like PAC 1. But,
Like what?
like PAK 1, a drainage
Oh,
ditch, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Do you wanna update the board at all on, last week you had it up on the screen with Mark Fair's situation? Is there anything update on that regarding?
I do not have any update, I don't know.
Okay,
Are you referring to anything at all?
Well, Mark said he had conversations with
Do you
you.
have that agreement?
I do.
Or that letter? Could you?
I do, and I was gonna get a copy, I haven't been in town since we talked,
Okay, thank you.
yep, so, yep. But it was brought up in the boardroom back when we were visiting with Mark about the culvert, that there was illegal tiling done back in the eighties by his father. And, I have an agreement signed by Richard Cheek and James Kuntz, so who was the chairman of the board at the time, that gave him a permit to run that tile. So that's what Doug was wanting a copy of that, so I'll get you a copy here today, and,
Okay, thank you.
yep. Anything else for Doug? Okay, thanks.
Alright, thanks.
Yep,
Break.
break, okay,
Thank you.
5-minute break, 10-minute break.
4.5 minutes.
No,
No. 30 seconds.
Morning, Mountain. How are you?
Pass it down.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Tammy.
Thanks, yeah.
Oh, you got that, huh?
Still working this morning. Still farming. Get down here. I was starting to rain, and sprinkling when I can come in.
Alright, I don't know if you wanna sign this now or later, but Amber will still need to sign it too. That's the last one for the supervisors.
You guys don't have a legal.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Sounds like you're on hold.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on.
I didn't figure that was your, working unit.
No, no. Sues me, so. Okay.
Yeah, very soon.
Oh.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, I think you just got to choose, 8.5 by 14.
What do I-
Oh, that filter feeder option right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the right way?
Yeah, that's the right way, so we'll. Another copy of this?
Yeah, we did a few.
Oh, right on. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's alright.
This out in here. There you go.
Final, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. These two. I've got a stapler out there.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, no big deal. Alright, that's right, that's stapler right here. Oh, well, that'll work.
Yeah, alright.
Thanks, DJ.
Yep, no problem. There you go.
You have a good day.
Yeah, me too. For next year, pretty quiet right now.
Winding everything down.
Convention in a couple months.
Yep, you going down?
Might.
Didn't know you was down there that one year, so at the end, somebody said you was there.
Last year, while the weather was shitty. Yeah. There was something else going on, grandkids or something. So far, nothing planned for them days.
Yeah. Well, we usually get stuck going down there. Nice to get away for a couple days. Try to drink all the beer in the morning.
We meet a lot of interesting people.
Yes, you do, there's,
You meet them there, and then when I'm doing fairs, you meet them again and do their act or whatever.
Yeah.
It's-
yeah, it's a crowd out of someone there. Going long enough, I think, most of them is just like, seeing
Now
it
you're
every
seeing
year.
second generation, their kids probably doing it and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep. That's a good thing, I guess, for years.
Yeah, my rodeos and tractor pulls.
It actually was, on one side. Yeah, it actually was.
I think it's getting better too. A couple years ago, we kinda got a little flat. It's jumping up a little bit more now. It's, people looking for something.
Oh, I skipped
Right.
over.
No,
No,
Oh.
not your holding shed.
Oh, that's,
That's your
okay.
You got it printed out, right?
You get
I
your-
think right as you had it
Down
out.
here, truck over there too.
We should have it,
We're
but
safe.
it's-
Yeah, signature of the lady from Clear Lake.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
My wife used to has to visit it.
thanks for putting in the work to get that done.
Well, I just continued what was started a long time ago.
It's done.
It's done.
The meeting to happen for so long.
Yeah, it has.
Good morning.
Okay. Everybody's back, so discussion decision, closed session for Iowa Code 2151J to discuss potential acquisition of real estate. And I'll need a motion to go into closed session for that.
So no.
Motion by Wactor, second by Garmin. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Haas, Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
yes.
Walter,
Yes.
Nah.
Yes. Motion carries and we'll get switched over. Get Molly.